We are really, really excited to be hosting this dialogue this evening. At Vendoor, our mission is built around one very simple truth, and it is that Nigeria's incredible demand is being held hostage by failed logistics for SMEs. And Vendoor has decided that we are not just going to complain about that problem, but we are going to secure the investment and the expertise needed to solve this problem. And that is why this event is titled The Future of Nigerian Commerce. And that title is very, very deliberate because the logistics market is actually not just a problem, it is the single biggest investment opportunity in Nigeria at the moment. We are talking about billions of dollars that's being lost to inefficiency, waiting for the right digital solution. Some people are making moves, but this is the best time to come to the industry. And tonight, we are going to be talking about different strategies that's going to help us accelerate growth as business owners. And we're also going to be talking about how we are building reliable and scalable infrastructure that the Nigerian digital economy deserves. And to help us break down this challenge, I am honored to introduce two people. These two people, they live, they've contributed to, and they breathe this space. The first person that is going to be joining us is Emmanuel Ade. Emmanuel Ade is a seasoned entrepreneur, he's a financial expert, an actual financial expert, not gig, a real financial expert. And he's the co-founder at Serious Technologies. Emmanuel has worked in major markets across Africa, and he understands where strategic investment gaps actually lie. Welcome, Emmanuel. It is nice to have you here on this call with us. And secondly, we have Mayowa Akimade. Mayowa Akimade is the co-founder and CIO of Gen 360 Technologies Limited, a startup that provides access to alternate financing for their customers. And his perspective is really, really invaluable to understand the true costs of the status quo. Welcome, Mayowa. And as I said earlier, our time is really, really tight. So we are going to be jumping straight into the conversation. Remember, as I said, you can submit your questions in the chat throughout the session, and we'll try to get to as many as possible when we are done. So we're going to be starting right now with the big picture perspective. Emmanuel, if you can hear me, let me just confirm. Can you say hello to everybody? Let me confirm that I can hear me.
Hello, everybody.
Uh, See how your voice is very, very chill. That's the voice of the financial experts. Hello, Emmanuel. It's nice to meet you. So,
Thank
Emmanuel, I do have a question for you.
you. All right.
I've known you for a while, right? A while, a couple of years, a while is a while. And I know that you live on the front lines of e-commerce. And as an operator, let's set aside investment for a while. What are the biggest operational pain points in Nigeria that is costing SMEs time, money, and is making them lose customers every single week? And more importantly, why is it that the current existing solutions have failed to completely solve that problem for a lot of SMEs across Nigeria? Thank you, man.
Thank you very much, host Ayodele. And good day to everybody listening to me. I'm aware that we have people all over the world listening to us right now, so I will stick with good day. Very quickly today, I'm going to not just talk about the problem, but first of all show us how big the market is, so we can understand the impact of that problem you know, on e-commerce as a whole in Nigeria. The topic of this virtual talk says the future of, Nigerian commerce, right? But before we really look at the problem based on the question that the host asked, I think we should just look at, um, you know, the market. How big is it? Next slide, please. So, what is the actual reality of e-commerce in Nigeria today? What is the actual reality of e-commerce? Can you hear me to go to the next slide? I want to show us, an analysis from Statista. This is not my own calculation. This is, based on, reports that we've got from Statista. So e-commerce in Nigeria as at 2023, based on market share, um, we have Jumia with 21%, we have Apple with 10%, we have some other players like AliExpress, Samsung, all of these guys, taking 1, 2, percentage like that. But we have others with 45%. This data here, these others are you and I that sells online, that sells on, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on, online stores. Now let's go back to the second slide that we skipped to show you that this data that we have, we do not really capture all of those data that is the reality. Nigeria e-commerce currently is valued at almost $8 billion. That is a whole lot of money. But as much as this money is big, it is nothing compared to global standard. China, for instance, this year did, over $1 trillion, over 1 trillion, right? So we can see that there's still a lot of potential for us to grow as a country, right? And the second data says that over 39 million MSMEs, drive more than 80% of the country's retail transaction, right? Then we now have what we call social commerce, where we have about 60% of online sales led by WhatsApp, and Instagram. And I can tell you that the sales that go through these channels are not being adequately accounted for, because trust me, every single day on WhatsApp, a lot of transaction goes on there, but we are not being able to capture all of this data. This shows how big and robust the market is currently. And comparing the data with America, with China, and all of that, we can see that there's still lots of potential. Like, I mean, a lot. You can compare 6 billion, 8 billion to over 1 trillion market cap, right? And the daily transaction volume is very, very massive. I believe on this call, we have several people that sell online. I believe on this call, we have people that shop online. I believe on this call, we have different players, different operators. So we all can see this number and understand what is on the table right now. Let's go to slide 4. Now, the question that was asked is the problem, the key problem, that we face in the industry. And I'll try to just, limit those problems into two, for the purpose of this meeting. And the first one is payment, right? Thank God for some players in the market like, Paystack, Flutterwave, that, find a way of solving payment solution, for e-commerce transaction in Africa, right? Kudos to them, but there's still other side of it, right? When it comes to credence, trust, right? We still have people, not trusting e-commerce providers enough to say, oh, I want to make a purchase online. I want to make payments online. And the only solution for e-commerce provider is to offer what we call payment on delivery. But it is easier said than done, because this is also like a risk on the business. I'm still going to come back to this. Now, the second problem that we are facing here is logistics, right? The second problem we are facing is logistics, because as much as it is easier to do business, right? It is so simple to start an e-commerce business today. Because of social media, you can just start tomorrow and just start posting online and people start buying from you. As much as it is easier to do all of those things, the major problem that people face is offline, and that is logistics. Because the core infrastructure that e-commerce needs is logistic. And when we now look at this other market that I showed us the other time, this 45% that comprises of me and you, we fall under that data, right? But we now discover that logistics is one of the core problems that we face. And that's why we have Vendoor. I'm still going to come back to that. Next slide, please. So what is the real pain point here? We have, several real pain points when it comes to logistics, for you and I. Things like, I think we were conducting some series of interviews, when we started Vendoor, and we began to ask people, right, what are the challenges you face? And these are the list of things that they are telling us. If you're in Lagos, you understand this, you will know this old trend. when it comes to dispatch rider, logistics, and all of that. This whole point that I listed, it just shows, a lot of area that we need to tackle as a service provider, right? No standard tracking for customers, for businesses, and when a customer make an order, they just have to be on their toes. Both the buyers and the sellers have to be on their toes to make sure that this product gets to, the right destination. So no peace of mind in transaction. Everybody is just, trying to just live on fear and all of that, right? There are so problem like delivery costs. Problem like no bulk delivery support for businesses. We have a lot of businesses in Lagos that sell 10, 20 products a day, right? And they cannot afford to set up a logistics service for themselves. They have to rely on whatever it is that the solution we have in the market. And this is a really, really pain point for them. No system designed specifically for small businesses, only customer facing platform. All of the logistic providers that we know currently in the market are customer facing, right? There's no like detailed solution. There's no like a customized solution for people running business. Now, the key point here is that this problem costs SMEs time, money, and customers, reduce customers turnover rather every now and then, right? Like I said, when we started Vendoor, we did some interview, and what we were able to discover is that this problem are there. Yes, we know, but the impact of this problem is actually very, very costly. And that's why we see the need for us to do something about it very fast. You see a lot of people saying that, oh, I cannot buy something online. Oh, I cannot buy wig online because I don't want them to give me fake wig. I cannot buy this online. I cannot buy it, reducing the trust of buyers when it comes to e-commerce. And we have to do something about it. Next slide, please. Now, we know that there are some solutions in the market before now. Why did they fail? And I think I've mentioned part of them before. The fact that these solutions are not specifically designed for businesses is a whole headache. So business needs are not actually considered when these products are being built, right? It is not their specific need is not actually, considered. So you see, like when I was going through that data, I was saying that this data is way more than this, but there's no way we want to capture it because if you have players in the market, sorry, if you have players in the market that are servicing these guys, we'll be able to get accurate data. I think sometimes this year, or yes, sometime early this year, we got a data from Amokeoge, right, through Childek, that she did a transaction of over R1 billion, right? And everybody was, wow, like, what's going on here? If we did not transact through Childek, we might not necessarily get that data, right? And this is to tell you that the Nigerian market is so big, there's a lot of opportunity out there, but we just need more solutions that designed for these businesses, for them to even make informed decision for themselves. Like there's this video we posted on Vendoor page, Instagram page, celebrating business owners that they are actually doing well, but there's no system that can give them this data of how far they are doing, how well they are doing. Some of these other reasons why this existing solution failed is because no long-term reliability, because SMEs cannot control the rider's performance. You call a rider now and say, oh, please, I want to send this package to the island, and this customer is leaving Nigeria in the next couple of hours and all of that. And after I even explained everything, the rider still decide to do what they want to do because they didn't really see you as a business. They just received the package. They did not know that their nonchalant attitude can actually cost you as a business a lot. But if there's a solution that is designed for these people, each rider will understand the implication. The service provider will understand the implication of every single transactions. And the sad truth is this: the big players that we mentioned the other time, the likes of Jumia, the likes of Konga, already find a way to solve this problem for themselves. But what happened to the other 45% that I showed you? That person that is selling wig on WhatsApp, that person that is selling sneakers on Instagram, I think also able to create solution for themselves? The answer is no. So there's a need for more service providers to come out and create a designated, a customized solution for these businesses. Let's go to the next slide, please, because of our time. The future of commerce and where vendor fit in. While I was writing this, I was just happy because I could see, how vendor, is going to shape, these old problems in a couple of years. Uh, you know, when we are building vendor, we try as much as possible to make sure that, you know, our infrastructure is SMEs focused. They are vendor focused, they are business focused. We make sure that the solution we created was designed for businesses, because we understand that the only way we can solve their problem is to design a product for them, not a product that they can use, not a product they can leverage on. No, a product specifically designed for them. You know, it meets businesses where they already sell. One of the fantastic things we'll be able to achieve, in vendor is this WhatsApp chatbot, that as a business owner and I'm selling on WhatsApp and I need delivery service, I don't have to necessarily, you know, go and download an app and now book a delivery on the app. I can also carry out my delivery on WhatsApp. I can make payments on WhatsApp. I can track my delivery on WhatsApp, and all of this happen in less. You can book a full delivery in less than 2 minutes. We've tested it out several times, right? We built three pillars of solution for SMEs. The number one is, you know, the vendor app, which is of course available on both Play Store and iOS store. We have, the WhatsApp chatbot that, enables businesses to book delivery, make payment, and do all of these things, including tracking on their WhatsApp. And very soon, we are also going to extend that to Instagram and other social media, right? And the last one is the vendor API, right? This enable you to connect our API to your online store directly. So let's say you are a business owner, you are an e-commerce provider, and you have your website, you have an online store. The same way you connect payment provider like Paystack, Flutterwave to your online store to facilitate payment transaction, we've also built an API in the same way for vendor that's going to enable you to, just you are not even going to interfere with it. Your customers are that's going to interfere with it to, you know, activate delivery, right there on your online store. These are what we've done for businesses, right? And I can keep on saying more and more. And in fact, look for the next 2 years, we will begin to roll out adequate data, for these orders that we have in this statistic. We begin to roll adequate data, the volume of transaction that is going on, and all of these amazing things. Business will be able to see how well they are doing. The international market will be able to see how well Nigeria is doing, because one of the things that we are going to do is to make sure that we provide adequate data. Adequate data. We'll be investing a lot in all of these things. One of the things that we plan to do for our businesses is what we call monthly delivery reports, to show you in just a snapshot how well your business is doing on a monthly basis. So these are the solutions that we've lined up for our businesses, right? And I think the rest is here, but because of our time, I'm just going to stick to that major ones that I already highlighted. Let's just digest all of this information, this good news I've given us, and see the future of commerce in Nigeria and be hopeful, right? Trust me, one of the things that this country needs is for us to start focusing on the non-oil sector. Trust me, that's what we need. And that's why anytime I make research and I see data like this, I'm always excited. Anytime I look at what we are building, I'm always excited, because this is thousands and thousands and millions of opportunity that we are leaving on the table. The second speaker is still going to talk about the investment opportunities, the money part of all of this that I'm saying. Anywhere you see problem, anywhere you see data like this, what you should be sure of is that there are a lot of financial benefit attached to it, right? And I want to, congratulate everybody on this call, because, if you are here and you're looking at, why do I feel as a business? The answer is there, right? If you are here and you're like, as an investor, which sector do I focus on? The answer is here. So these are the things that we are here to do tonight. And one of the things I can also promise you is that we as a company in Vendoor will not relent until we make sure that e-commerce in Nigeria as a whole, speaks volume, speak impact. Thank you very much for having me, guys. I think I will just eat my mic for now and allow the second speaker to go on. Thank you.
There's only one person that I'm seeing that is clapping. There's only did you people hear what I just heard? There's only one person I'm seeing that is clapping. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I can see two people, three people exactly. Now I know that you guys are actually present and here with me. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. You've made several things clear. Your analysis is very, very clear. And I like how you've highlighted the things that are actually holding down SMEs in Nigeria. Because these things, all of them are hidden costs, things that we do not account for. But these things are also dragging down the GDP, and it's also stifling the growth of every small business in the country. Logistics is a very, very important problem to solve. After producing whatever it is that you produce, it has to get to the customers. And until we can solve logistics fully, we are still going to keep encountering several problems that is going to stifle the growth of SMEs, MSMEs, small businesses, micro businesses across the country. And this is very, very, very important that we have. This program is powered by Vendoor. This program is powered by Vendoor. If you've not followed us on social media, you can use this moment to do that real quick. Just search for Use Vendoor, Vendoor on any social media platform. You'll find us there, and you'll see more about what we do on our social media platforms. Thank you very much. Emmanuel. Right. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. We have our second speaker in the building. We have our second speaker in the building, Mayowa Akimade. Mayowa Akimade, if you're not hearing, I introduced him earlier, is the co-founder and CIO of Genesis 360 Technologies Limited here in Nigeria. And it's a startup that provides access to alternate financing for their customers, and his perspective is very, very important for the kind of conversation that we are going to be having here tonight. Right, his perspective is very, very, very important. Now, my wife, if you are there, can you just say hello? Let me confirm that you can hear us and we can hear you.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's nice to have you on this call. Yeah, it's nice to have you on this call. I can hear you. Mayowa, I'm sure you've heard from Emmanuel as well. And Emmanuel has given us a very, very sharp and detailed analysis that talks about the costs of these operational gaps, especially in logistics, from manual processing to the very troublesome last mile delivery that SMEs face. Now, your organization is a very good example of an organization that has sought and leveraged external funding to scale in this country. So I don't know if you can walk us through the direct impact that this funding has had on your organization to help you successfully overcome certain bottlenecks and scaling your own operations. And also, if you can help us look beyond the organization and tell us what is it that excites you most about the current ecosystem regarding startups in general, and are we finally seeing money flow to the real solutions that can change the future of Nigerian commerce? You have the floor, Mayowa.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. It's a privilege to join you guys and you guys giving us your time. I do not take any of it for granted. But quick one, before I answer that, jump into the questions, I want to know the kind of set of people that we have on this call. If you're an entrepreneur, just comment with E on the comment section, because I want it to be a more interactive session, just more than just me pouring out to you guys. If you're an investor, just write I. So entrepreneurs write E, and investors, if you're an investor, write I. Yeah. So okay. I'm seeing reactions. Yeah. Amazing. So basically, to actually get a full overview of people I'm actually talking to, and because I'll be going deep into what it is, how investment it is from the entrepreneur side, and what investment is from the investor side of view. So for the entrepreneur, our investment most of the time is our time. And one of the things that is very important is that when we are investing our time, we are investing our life basically into this business. And the life of the business is the cash. When you don't have cash, you are not into business, because no matter how great your idea is, no matter how fantastic the idea is, no matter how beautifully you design the idea, without funding, it's not going to move by 1%. So one of the crucial things that have actually killed many businesses in the time past is funding. And getting the funding right and how to actually access funding is one of the most important things in business. Which is not the most important, what is not the only thing, but one of the most important things in actually building a business. And our time that we are investing into it has to actually come out with a result. And one of the things that can actually make us come out with that result is investment into time. It's the investment that comes to the business. Just a brief description about me. I've been into the investment space for the past 5 years. I've actually raised investment over $150,000 for 2 or 3 startups currently here in Nigeria. And one of the things that the current company that we built, Genesis 360, in the last 3 years, we raised over $50,000 in that space of time from local investors and from foreign investors. And the impact that it has had on us has been one of the manual way of doing things. Because one of the things that investment does for you is the fact that if you are able to service 2 customers before, then with investment, you'll be able to service 3, 4, 5 customers. But what are the investors looking at? How can you actually, as a business owner, position yourself to be business, an investment worthy organization or a startup? One of the things that is crucial is the fact that what are your processes, and are you in the space of the investment in the investment sector? One of the crucial spaces is where Vendoor is, which is the logistics system. Businesses will always transact, and businesses transacting online will always lead to logistics. If you are an entrepreneur and you're not looking into how what you are doing in the next 10 years will be relevant, then no investor is going to come out for you. Nobody is ready to actually put in their money into a business that in the next 10 years starts. So, for example, now I want to get our opinion on something, and I want us to actually on our mics. So, if I want to start a business now, and the only idea that comes to my mind is these people that are selling airtime, that sell airtime on using the paper. If you're an investor, will you invest into that business? I just want to see our reactions. Will you invest into that kind of business? Okay, the business that I want to do now. So I'm starting a business now, and somebody's pitching you, and the business the person is talking about is printing airtime on paper. Definitely, nobody's going to do that.
The person who create the business and patronize himself.
Exactly, because the business is invalid again. Many of us can get our airtime from the comfort of our home, from the comfort of from our phones. So we don't need to actually go outside to actually buy airtime again. Now, that's the same way every other business, everybody must look into their business. Everybody must see their business from the fact that, can this business be relevant for the next 10 years? And that's why when somebody says, when OP and when Pampi and OP, exactly, and they're even giving you charges on the airtime that you are buying. So one of the things that is very crucial is the fact that we must look into from perspective in the next 10 years. Okay, in the next 9 years, will this business still be relevant? In the next 15 years, will this business still be relevant? And that's the same way investors look at us. That's the same way foreign investments look at us. So the thing is that when we are talking about investment is not as hard as Nigerians make it to be, because there are so many forms of investment. There are so many sources of investment. There are local investment, there are diaspora investments, and a lot of people are looking into the diaspora markets now. Now, let me give you a statistics that will shock each and every one of us that is on this call. From 2020 to 2025, the total money that came into Nigeria from diaspora is $90 billion. From 2020, let me take it again. From 2020 to 2025, the total investment that came into Nigeria is $90 billion. Now, Last year alone, the total investment that came into Nigeria is last year alone. Last year alone, the total investment that came into Nigeria was $20 billion. Now, the craziest part of everything of the numbers I've said is that 3% of that is just for investment. 97% of that money goes to family support. So that means there is money in the market, but there are no businesses that position themselves in such a way that they can access the funding. Because funding in the country at the moment is kind of hard. If you go to, for example, you want to take a loan from the commercial banks, it's over 38%, which is highly on the high side. So one of the things that we need to look at is, as businesses, now so I'm talking to business owners now, as business owners, how to structure your business in such a way that it can attract foreign investment, diaspora investment. With diaspora investment, you can actually grow your business. And a lot of this diaspora investment test of time. There are businesses that have come in the time past and has gone. So we need to actually look at our business and ask ourselves that, can this business stand the test of time? Can this business be one of the businesses that will build the future of commerce in Nigeria? So back to the question that the host asked me, which is the fact that what was the impact of the funding that we got, and how are we at the moment? Now, before we started, we already got funding because I've been exposed to funding. Because this is not my first startup. I've been exposed to raising funds. Before the funding, one of the things that actually happened is the fact that most of our processes were basically manual. We are doing paper card. It was manual. And if you are doing manual, there are limits to what you can do. So with funding will help you to actually scale the solution, infuse tech into the solution. And if you do that rightly, then you can attract more funding. So basically, one of the things that funding does for you is the fact that it can actually gives you that leverage to be able to actually attract more if you are able to do well with the first one that you got, and to be able to actually scale the solution to reach more customers. Because basically, the beauty of business is ability to reach more customers, ability to be able to actually access more with little that you have. You understand? So funding in that has actually helped us. And the second question that the host asked me is the fact that what are the impact that funding we have on the in the Nigerian commerce, if I actually got the question right. So one of the things that funding will definitely have on Nigerian commerce is the fact that we are able to now transact. Now look at these numbers that I already talked about earlier on. That's $19 billion coming into the country every year, like in the next 5 years. So let's say into the country, and 90% of that, 97% of that goes into family support. Now, if you tap into that diaspora market, if you tap into that market alone can build each and every one of us our businesses. We just need to structure these businesses in such a way that can actually attract the funding. We just need to structure it in such a way that these businesses, these investors can actually invest into these businesses. So what does the future hold for us as business owners? What does the future hold for us? The future is actually great. Many investors are actually looking for businesses to actually invest in. Many people are looking for where they want to actually put their money into. As an investor is not looking at a business that wants to actually flip the coin. They understand the market. They understand the terrain. They understand that you can make $1 billion in. So let me use a practical example. I think I should not give big examples. So, for example, one of the investments that we raised last in the course of this year, at the very beginning of the conversation, we are talking about, okay, can you do equity financing so some of us equity finance is like selling a part of your company, like shares of your company, equity financing. But the thing is that many of these individuals that you want to actually talk to, they're not even knowledgeable about equity financing. They just know the terminology. So it becomes hard for you to actually think as an entrepreneur, to be able to actually look at, okay, if this person does not actually understand this, how can I give them it's just to give them investing is also a solution. How can I give my investor a solution that they can easily understand? And that's when it comes to, okay, can you do debt financing? Can you do a mixture of the two? Okay, do debt and you can actually change it to equity over the time. So as entrepreneurs and as an investor, we need to actually look at the processes of the business. One, we need to look at how we can actually relate to investors. Investors are just like normal people like me and you. And the only difference that an investor has to an entrepreneur is that an investor cannot infuse that time. The investor wants to pay for the time. But when the investor is paying for your time, ensure that you are also making use of that money so that it works the investor's time and it works your time too. So it's a win-win situation. Investor doesn't have the time to actually do the runarounds, the day-to-day operations. Oh, you have the time to do the day-to-day operations, but let it work your own time and let it work the time of the investors too. So that's like the basic background thing about investment. I don't know if you have questions because I don't want to just keep asking. I just want to also have a conversation, a more of a dialogue of things. So I'll open to your questions and how we can actually look at this thing forward. Thank you very much.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Mayowa. I really like the angle that you came in from to answer the original question. Emmanuel, I can see your hand. We'll get to you. Uh, Thank you very much, man. That was powerful. Thank you for sharing your journey. I like how personally I feel energized now. I'm more energized about the journey that we're on because it is still day zero for Vendor, literally. And what you've shared that's validated every investor on this call's concerns, validated the concern for every investor. And what I can pick from that is that investment capital works in Nigeria. Investment capital works in Nigeria. It is very, very, I think one of the things that stood out for me is the fact that while a lot of money is coming into Nigeria from the diaspora, not a lot of this money is being put to good use. Actually, I'm not saying that when you send money to your family in Nigeria, it's not good use. I'm just saying that not a lot of this money is being put into channels that can actually help the country and help businesses in the country and even generate more income for you as a person who is sending money back home. So there's a lot to really unpack from that. If you have any questions, please drop your questions in the chat right now. If you want to unmute and speak, we'll give you the chance. But if you want to drop a question in the chat, we can do that right now. While we are dropping questions, Emmanuel wants to say something. Emmanuel, you're free. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ayodele, for giving me the mic once again, and thank you very much. I call him Fresh. That was amazing. That was really, really amazing. And it is good for me to note that our CEO is also on this call. He will be speaking, with us shortly, if it's chance, because I know is on transit. So yeah, I have a quick question. We've talked numbers, right? And we've talked the impact of that number, $20 billion, last year. Was it last year or this year, that came in from the diaspora market? 3% of which last year, thank you. 3% of which, goes into business, it others into family and friends. Now, just like the host said, money going into family and friends and all of that, it's not like a bad use, but the concept of men built the concept of I think a lot of us here should have watched this movie, The Men Who Built America. I still strongly believe that most if you look at employer of labor, let's begin to look at these statistics now. The highest employer of labor at the informal market, over 60%, right? Look at the e-commerce that we're discussing today, 45% are others, not even major structures, not all these bigger players. Jumia, as we all know, Jumia is just 21%, right? Greatest employer of labor, we just mentioned informal market. So if people are doing this much, right? And just a little funding are coming in. How can we turn things around? How do we because it is not about is your business investable, because I'm so sure that we have a lot of amazing products, out there, just like what we are doing in Vendor here, right? How do we turn things around? How do we make sure that we channel some of this, diaspora investment into good use, good cost that can also create a multiple, ripple effect of jobs, of more opportunity, of more economical growth? That's my question.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much for that question, Manu. So I will use to answer your question. I will just use Genesis 360 as a practical example. So when we raised our first fund, we had less than 50 customers. We have less than 50 customers. Most of our processes were manual. So let me just give a breakdown of what we do at Genesis 360. So alternative financing for food. We allow people save daily. All these market women save daily. So they are using a Trips card to actually buy food items. So it's manual, and they want to also take up loans to actually buy those food items. So there are so many manual things involved. One of the things that stood out is the fact that, and to go back to what I said earlier on, which is diaspora investors or investors generally, they are diaspora or local, they want to see that this business, number one, it's not about the story that you are talking about. It's not about the story. They just want to see that this business in the next 10 years will still be relevant. They want to see that the people leading this business would still follow up with this business even in the next 10 years. They will not give up on the journey. So the impact it has not had on us is the fact that at first we had, like I said, we had close to like 3 customers, 3 staff or 4 staff, because we did the groundwork ourselves. So most of those are some of the things that the investors want to see. They want to see that your blood and sweat is on this business. You are not just giving them vague numbers. They want to see that you are actually doing the job of the business, not just you are working on the business and in the business. So there are a little bit difference there. So working in the business is the day-to-day operation. So working on the business is like the strategic thinking of the business. Okay, this is where the business is going to in the next 5 years. So investors want to say, okay, this person has this strategic view of, okay, this is where the business is going. So the impact it now has on us, on the business, that creates more job. So before we raised the investment, we had 3 staffs, but currently we have close to 20. And all this can be possible because of the fact that we raised investments. We increased the number of people that the number of customers that we are serving. Currently, we are at 2,000 customers. And it's also as a result of the fact that we raised investments. So there are huge effects of investment in any business. An investor cannot make his money or cannot be profitable if there are no numbers, because what's really the reward of an investor is that there's an increase in the business. If there's no increase in the business, definitely the investor has lost his money. Either is debt, either is equity. If there are no increase in the number of customers, if there are no increase in the number of transactions, then the investor definitely has lost his money. So it might take time. The businesses vary. For some businesses that tech businesses, it might take time. It varies from business to business, but there should be a level of improvement per time. So for us and for the country at large, the businesses are the only ones that can build the economy. Businesses are the only ones that can build the economy. No, the government cannot do it. There is a limit to what the government can do. And that's why when you saw that Dangote came into the oil industry, there was a huge change in the oil industry. A lot of people are now eager to come into the oil industry. The reason because there's an entrepreneur that came into that industry and structured things out and changed it from the way it used to be to the way it is meant to be. So the future of commerce in this country and is on each and every one of us to build businesses that can attract investments, that have processes, that investors see that these people have the blood and sweat in this. They are not just doing it for fun. You know that it's just the next catchy thing. Okay, there was a time that fintech was the next catchy thing. Everybody was building a fintech app. Everybody wanted to buy data, but between here and I think everybody here is Nigerian. What's a cast? No investor just wants to see that you just build one app that buy airtime, because they will tell you, okay, they will buy airtime and no pay, and Apple will still give them money. So when building a business to for investors to actually come into it, because it's not just diaspora investments, there are local investments, there are VCs, there are angel investors that can actually come into the play. So we have to actually make a structure our business in such a way that it's investable. And the only way it can be investable is that you have a strong solution, you have a projection of where the business is going, you have the team itself is strong enough to actually push the vision, because sometimes the team might not be able to push the vision, they can just say it. So the investor wants to see that this team can actually push this vision and actually achieve this vision that they laid out to actually achieve. So making it clear to the staffs, making it clear to the investors, making it clear to the board of advisories. Those are the things that can actually build a company. Like, can make it investable, because when an investor sees that on your board of advisory you have this so number of people that have done things in this area before, they're ready to put in their money, they're ready to invest into your business, no matter the business. I'm not even talking about, let's even take these businesses. Let's talk about SMEs.
Yeah.
People are ready to actually invest into your business. When even SMEs, even you are doing soap, you are doing, you are making shoes, you are making, it doesn't matter. People are ready to invest into your businesses, into your business. When they see that your own blood and sweat is on the line, you are ready to actually do this, and they see that you are following a process, that there's a process for everything that you are doing. It's not that you're just saying that, oh, I make the best shoes. How do you make the best shoes? What are the things that they are seeing on your social media page? That's the first place. Are you showing them the processes? Are you showing them personal delivery? Are you doing the business? So for someone doing the business, will definitely respond, no matter the. So there are different ways. It can be family and friends. Oh, guy, I want to actually expand this business, and let me structure this thing out for you. Okay, it just depends on the entrepreneur and the willingness to actually want to grow. Because many people say they want to grow, but few really deeply actually are ready to pay the sacrifice of growing, because it will definitely require something. What is it require for each and every business differs. Some it might require that they work extra time. Some might require that they will find extra money. It varies from business to business. So the future of commerce is in our hands, and the economy can only grow if each and every one of us that are business owners are ready to actually pay the sacrifice to actually build this business, to actually make our business investable. Because many people are looking for money to actually invest into businesses. That's just the basic truth. Many people have idle cash, but they don't know where to put the cash. But before they can put the cash, they have to be sure that this business is worth investing into, and these people are actually doing the right thing. So I think I don't know if I answered the question.
Yeah, I'm sure that you've answered the question and a few other questions that might arise, because you really touched a whole lot of topics. You made several things clear. Thank you very, very much, Mayowa. Thank you very, very much, Mayowa. And this one is for every entrepreneur that's
I
on
saw a
this
question
call.
here. Sorry. They said, please, what's the best investment for an investor, whether debt or equity?
Yes, you can go ahead and answer that question.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for an investor, it depends on the investor. Some investors want to actually give you debt first, to actually see how you do debt, because debt you are holding, it's debt is loan. It's just packaged word. Debt financing is loan. So like giving you a sum of money to actually see that, okay, can this person even actually come out with a result with this amount of money? And they look at it for a year, and okay, this person actually wants to actually build this business, and switch to equity. But that doesn't work for all businesses. So it depends on the business. Not all businesses are the same. If I see this somebody, I can say, okay, this person is actually that really wants to actually build this business, because the exit point for an equity investor is the business going big. Is the business, because without the business actually expanding and becoming big, an equity investor cannot actually enjoy his investments. Because, for example, people that invested in Paystack did a queue. Some invested in investors invested $120,000 and make over $4 million. See the X, and just in the space of 5 years. People that invested in Money Points made a queue. So now, look at people that invested in Payday. So it's different from company to company. And just the equity is you investing into the shares of the company, and with a clear mind that this company will go big and more investors will come in and you can actually sell your shares. So debt is I just want to give you money, maybe 25%. The end at after 1 year I collect my ROI. And so it's that is just transaction. Equity is you are part of the business. You are part of the business. So the risk of the business fails or it succeed. If the business fails, the equity investor has nothing to say. The money has gone. So that's like a different risk of the two. Debt is a one-time transaction. Equity is a long-term transaction. You are doing a long-term transaction with the person. So if the company lasts 100 years, you still own the shares of that company. People that bought shares in Coca-Cola still own the shares of Coca-Cola up to today. And that's why they can say that Warren Buffett is one of the richest people in the world. It's because of investments like Coca-Cola. He bought it so early when the shares had no value. Like it was not like it had a huge value at that time, but he bought it so early. So that was not debt investment, that was like equity investment. So it depends, it varies from company to company. It varies from what the appetite, the risk, what do you call it, the risk appetite of the investor is. If your risk appetite is like you are thinking long term, you believe that this business will go big in long term, buy the shares of the company, buy an equity, and believe in it, push the business like it's your own. Then why not? In the next 10, 5 years, everybody's cashing out, everybody's happy. But if you still want to study things out, why start with debt first, then do a convertible note, convert your debt into. So we raise debt investment like that too. Convert your debt financing into equity. That's like they call it convertible notes. So you convert it from debt into equity. So it varies from business to business, basically. So yeah.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much, now. Timotheus, I would like to believe that your question has been answered because I have also gained something very, very important. I can see Abraham clapping. I'm sure he has also gained something. And this meeting has been a very, very fruitful one. By the way, yeah. So I'm sure you got the answer to your question. So, I want Emmanuel to. I just saw another question in the chat. We are supposed to end this meeting in like 5 minutes, but I'll give Emmanuel the chance to answer two questions in 2.5 minutes. Emmanuel, the first question: what is the urgent problem in the logistics industry? I think you can take the two at once. What is the urgent problem in the logistics industry? This person says, that's Abraham Sage Folanya. He says, we've seen several other logistics tech startups and regular delivery riders. How exactly is Vendoor different? So I believe you can take both questions. Emmanuel, are you there? 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So for the first one you asked, what is the urgent problem in logistic industry? The answer is infrastructure. It's easier for we that we are in Lagos to talk about delivery as if it's like at the back of our hands. But when we begin to talk about interstate delivery, intrastate in other states, not Lagos, there's a need for us to invest in infrastructure, right? So there is no, investment in that aspect yet. So there's a need for urgent answer in that niche. And what makes Vendoor different? Like if you wake me in the middle of the night, the answer is, simple in my head. It's just a personalized solution for businesses. That's what makes Vendoor different. Anybody can start logistics. Anybody can start. In fact, tomorrow you can try it. You can go and buy bike and put it on the road. But the main problem we are trying to solve here, you do not understand it. We are here for businesses. We are here for SMEs. We are here for that 45% that I showed you guys the other time. Those that are moving e-commerce in Nigeria, those 39 million people, that are transacting every single day, either on WhatsApp, on Instagram, or on Facebook, on their online store. We are here for those guys to create, a seamless, a stress-free, solution for them when it comes to logistics, right? And one of the things we're also trying to do is also lay that infrastructure. But then one of the things that we are looking at also in Vendoor is interstate delivery, specifically for businesses. Now, when a business, let's say I'm selling Lagos and I want to deliver to a customer, in Akure, I am at mercy of a driver at the park. and it does not even have to prioritize. It not even does not. It will not prioritize my package because its primary goal is to carry a passenger from Lagos to Akure. But if there's a solution that is focused on making sure that business package gets to Akure same day delivery, it will be prioritized. So let's say a car breaks down now in a particular place, that driver will first of all prioritize the passenger in the car than the product that you're sending. So these are one of the things that we are when it comes to infrastructure, when it comes to personalized solution for businesses. I can go all and on, but because of our time, I think I'm just going to stop there. Thank you very much, guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Thank you very, very much, Emmanuel. Thank you very much to every single person that made out time to join this dialogue tonight. I would also like to thank our speakers specially. Like to thank our speakers specially because they have made two things clear. Number one, the problem is massive and it is there. And Mayowa has also made it clear that the capital works. The time for talking about the problem is over. Let me just tell you one thing about Vendor. At Vendor, we are the answer to all the inefficiencies that Emmanuel has identified, and we've built a dedicated logistics platform for SMEs, as Emmanuel have said. And at the moment, we are currently raising our pre-seed, and we are looking for strategic investors who understand that investing in digital infrastructure is the bedrock of massive, very massive long-term returns. But we are not going to spend time on the slides right now because we understand that your time is very, very valuable. Instead, we want to talk to you one-on-one. We have a variety of things you can invest in. We have the vendor green fleets, which is similar to like debt financing, and we are also open to taking investment, equity investments. Right. So I've dropped an email, partner@getvendor.com, a chat box. Send an email to partner@getvendor.com and we'll book a meeting and we'll have a conversation with you one on one. By the way, we have the CEO of Suez Technologies with us, Mr. Olorutoba Thompson, and he's just going to address us briefly and we'll take it from there. We are going to be rounding up the meeting very, very soon. Sir Thompson, are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Thank you
It's
very
nice
much,
to hear your
Dragon.
voice.
Yeah, me too. Thank you very much, Dragon, for being the host today. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everyone. Okay, my name is Thompson Ajibola. Okay, just want to say thank you to everyone who has made time to be part of this discussion. First and foremost, that will go to our guest speaker for today, which is Mr. Mayowa Kimade. Nice to meet you and nice to hear your voice. Today, we've heard a lot about you as well from Emmanuel. So thank you very much for this opportunity. And we're looking forward to, bringing you more, okay, on this, because what we plan to do going forward is to try and get this kind of more conversation, time to time, regularly, so we can get people to know what we are actually doing to encourage other founders, other entrepreneurs in Nigeria. So hopefully we'll be seeing your face more, Mr. Mayowa. Thank you very much. So, and Emmanuel, thank you very much. I've listened to you guys, speaking since the start of the beginning of the meeting. So you've raised a valid point. The problem we're solving at Vendor has been highlighted. And obviously, just like every other organization, even the biggest organization in the world today, they were still raising funds. Okay, so who are we, the startups, not to raise funds? So what we're doing here today, so we just want to put the word out there, how we are different to other delivery companies in Nigeria, what we are doing differently, our target market, and everything we are going for. So, and the reason why we are out there in the first place. So I just want to encourage everybody, please spread the word. If you want to be part of the Vendor or Swiftly Technologies Limited family, everybody's welcome. And I'm sure Emmanuel is there. Even though you reach out to him, if it's 2 a.m. in the morning, trust me, he will reply your call. I can say that with all confidence. So I just want to say thank you very much. So for everybody, please, just one word before I go today is, let us go out there. We all have this internal burning of for a desire, okay, to do something that will make us different from maybe probably the family we all came out from. But I just want to say, never give up in anything we are doing. So if most of people that know my story, I'm the kind that will stand and say, me myself about 15 years ago, I'm in a position where I think that I cannot even achieve, let's say, 0.5% of what I've achieved today in life. So, but because of my ambition, I'm ambitious, have consistency, hard work. Like, trust me, some people's like, guy, how do you get this kind of confidence from? I take risk. I'm a very, very risk taker. You understand? So that kind of person I am. So I just want to say, you as an entrepreneur, please, of course, the higher the risk, you understand, the higher but of course, you have to risk reasonably. So thank you very much, everybody. Let's go out there and explore this. It's too, the field is too much, it's too big for everybody to thrive. So thank you very much for your time today. And I wish each and every one of us a good week and great week ahead. Thank you very much. Dragon, you ready?
Amazing. Thank you very much, sir. It's nice to have you here, sir. And I also like to thank our speakers one more time and to thank everybody that joined. I think we have people from 3 time zones here. We have people from London, Lagos, and Toronto. It's nice to have each and every one of you here for taking out your time, your precious family time to join us here tonight. Thank you very much. And on this final note, I would like to say that the email to reach out to Vendoor is in the chat box, partner@getvendoor.com. Vendoor is spelled Vendoor. And you can follow us on all social media platforms. Use Vendoor. And this meeting is being recorded. I'll try to see how we can get it public for those that want to watch this meeting again, because a lot of things have been shared on this call. A lot of things. I know that if I even try to pay for it, my card is going to decline. So we'll try to see how we can get this meeting public for you guys to go through again. Thank you very much, everyone. Apologies for going over the time limit by 5 minutes. And on this note, I say good night. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye, guys.